Hi there, this is garyryanblair, and in this message, I want to talk to you about change, about real, enduring, and what it takes to enjoy everlasting change. And to do that, we'll begin with a few questions. How hard is it for you to change a habit? How hard is it to stop drinking or smoking? How hard is it to overcome any type of addiction? How hard is it to break free of a toxic relationship, a twisted family dynamic, or a destructive marriage? And how hard is it to make those changes permanent? You see, we talk about change, the switch from the life you now know to the bigger, bolder, and much more beautiful life that you want to inhabit. We're talking about a total, fundamental, everything you've got life-throwing revolution. That is why it's so hard. So you ever try to make changes in your life, but despite your best efforts, seem to find yourself always reverting back to old habits and behaviors? If you backslid on a diet, if you started but not finished a project, if you have repeated a bad habit to your detriment and you want to put an end to these type of chronic behaviors for good, then I promise you, you're going to love this message. You see, as a performance coach, the work I do is focused on how my clients can install better habits to accelerate the results and to unleash their greatness. And this particular message checks all three boxes, providing you with the strategy that you need to break bad habits and to replace them with good ones. So let's get going. You see, your ability to master this strategy cannot be overstated nor overlooked. As bad habits are behavioral landmines, they're self-inflicted wounds that destroy everything in their path. Bad habits have no redeeming value. They're miserable rat bastards. They bring momentum to a screeching halt, they undermine your reputation, and they prevent you from accomplishing your goals. Bad habits jeopardize your mental and physical health. They wreak havoc on your finances, they waste your time, and for far too many of us, they steal some of the best years of your life. Bad habits are a serious competitive problem, which warrant a serious and a sustained competitive solution. And I know of no better thing that you can do to immediately change the direction and the trajectory of your life than to break a bad habit and to replace it with a good one. So the strategy, the one that I'm going to recommend and talk about for the remainder, is this. It's repeal and replace. And here's how it works. For you to operate at the peak of your potential, you must achieve a state of mental, spiritual, and physical renewal and complete liberation from all negative influences in your life. And you do that by focusing on and repealing and replacing the people, the places, and the things that negatively impact your life, that slow you down or derail your progress, or which compromise your character in any way. And although it takes many different shapes throughout your life, the essence of repealing and replacing remains consistent. It's a release or a separation from some burden, either physical or mental. It furthers your healing, it creates positive change, and ultimately, it empowers you to unleash your greatness through its replacing effect. So let's begin by taking a look outside before we go to work inside. Now, we see examples of repealing and replacing going on all around us and all the time, but most of us are unaware of it until it is brought to our attention. And I trust the following will raise your awareness of its relevance and how it can become a distinct, highly profitable, and lasting competitive advantage in both your personal and professional life. So here we go. So organic fruit and vegetable growers repeal the use of pesticides, dyes, and genetically modified organisms, and then replace them with natural fertilizers. Online stores like Amazon, Netflix, and a growing number of companies, well, they repeal the trip to the store and they replace them with the convenience of shopping from home. Digital cameras repeal the need for expensive film and time-consuming development and replace them with the immediacy of a digital image. And robots and other forms of artificial intelligence are, in fact, repealing the use of human manpower and replacing them with machines that replicate certain human movements. In fact, I created the 100-day challenge with repealing and replacing in mind. You see, the 100-day challenge is an ambassador of excellence, as we aggressively repeal any behavior, any thought or ritual which negatively impacts or inhibits your forward progress, and we replace them with behaviors that inspire, promote, and celebrate excellence. And for you to perform at the peak of your potential, you must decide what stays and what goes, what's in and what's out, and what's included and what's excluded from your life. And at the risk of being a broken record, to begin the change process, you must decide what stays and what goes, what's in and what's out, and what's included and what's excluded from your life, and you need to do it now. And you do that by purging and repealing impurities, and by keeping, building upon, or replacing that which is good, which is right, healthy, positive, and noble. In other words, out with the bad stuff and in with the good. Now let's pivot back and focus on you, on the permanent changes that you want to make in your life. What do you need to repeal and purge from your life so that you operate at maximum potential? And I'm talking lean, pure, fast, focused, passionate, free, and unencumbered in any way. Remember, we're all playing a high-stakes game of one and done. So give all that follows the attention and the commitment they deserve. What are the non-negotiables? What are the people, the places, and things that are not permitted, that must be intentionally repealed for the betterment of yourself, your clients, your community, and your overall peace of mind? What eating, drinking, or physical habits do you need to repeal? And what will you replace them with? What addictions or compulsions need to be repealed? And what will you replace them with? What spending or wasteful habits need to be repealed from your life? And what will you replace them with? What fears, hang-ups, or insecurities need to be repealed? And once again, what will you replace them with? What time wasters and bad habits need to be repealed? And what will you replace them with? And last, what physical and psychological environments need to be repealed? And what are you going to replace them with? See, to change your life, to fast-track your goals, and to unleash your greatness, you must repeal and eliminate anything that pollutes and contaminates your mind, your body, your soul. And you need to immediately replace those behaviors, those belief systems, and execution strategies that consistently move the needle forward. So let's close this one out with a personal challenge. I want you to answer all 6 questions and immediately go to work breaking bad habits and replacing them with good ones. Release yourself from any form of mental or physical bondage and replace it with the people, the places, and the things that renew your spirit, that revitalize your energies, and which refresh your perspective. Now, I know how hard it is to create real lasting change. I personally know the price that you must pay. I know the sacrifice and the suffering that it's going to take. And I know it's a lonely road that you must travel. But by implementing this repeal and replace strategy, you are taking your destiny in your 2 very capable hands. And you will have found the courage to face your demons. And most importantly, you are doing what many, many people talk about, but damn few actually do. And that is why I salute you.